up, guys? Dan Can Reacts here. Today I'm reacting to I watched WWE's Weird Lost Show by Top 10 Wrestling. What lost show? Um, I don't think they have any lost ones. I know there are some forgotten ones. Like I know, uh, 205 Live. I know some people forgot about that one. I didn't forget about it, but I think that's now NXT level up. But I think a lot of people haven't talked about 205 Live in like a year, so that's why I kind of feel like that's kind of forgotten because nobody has mentioned 205 Live at all. And even though that show's been around since what, like 2016 to like 2022 or something like that. It was kind of weird that WWE stopped advertising it since like 2019. They used to advertise it every time they air SmackDown on TV. Then after that, they just stopped, doing it because I guess they knew that nobody was gonna watch it anyways. So they were gonna give it like the main event kind of like treatment and just make it seem like, oh well, we don't have to advertise it anyways. They can still watch it whenever they want. So then it would be, I think before it was on Tuesdays, and after that they moved to Fridays. But it's now NXT level up, and so they got rid of 205 Live because I guess they weren't really getting that much ratings into it. Which it was okay. I've seen it. It was not too bad. It was weird that it was basically just an hour long instead of like 2 hours or 3 hours like Raw and SmackDown was. But I feel like they could have added more matches to it, and it would have been great. But nah, it was just an hour long. But anyways, I wonder what lost WWE show would be on here. The only thing I could think of is Saturday Morning Slam, which was on the CW. I guess CW for Kids. I don't think anybody remembers that one either. So I don't know if that's what's lost or something like that. But yeah, the original video will be in the description down below. You can watch that after this if y'all want to, and like, subscribe, and hit the notifications button to get updates on videos I'll be pushing on this channel. So now, without further ado, let's get to this video.
Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, NXT, Main Event, 205 Live, Superstars, Level Up. These are just some of the weekly shows that WWE has put out that I can think of from the top of my head. WWE have put out so many shows, some good, some bad, and a few forgotten to time, but one that I vividly remember and always found to be a very weird and surreal show was WWE Saturday Morning Slam. Saturday Morning Slam was a show announced by the WWE on August 10th, 2012. They announced it would be airing on the CW network on a Saturday morning, and it would be premiered later that month.
I promise y'all, I didn't see this video at all. I promise y'all, I never seen it. I did not know they were going to talk about that, which is kind of ironic because I was just talking about that right now, and yet they were talking about it. So I just find that weird. But yeah, let's continue.
Saturday Morning Slam was essentially a kids show, and it was WWE's way of trying to get in on the kids' Saturday morning cartoons market and try to almost create their own Saturday morning cartoon, well, not cartoon, that kids can watch and enjoy. And I myself have very vivid memories of watching Saturday Morning Slam as a kid, so today I'm going to be revisiting it as an adult. So make sure to subscribe right now as we check out WWE's weirdest forgotten show. Right, so WWE Saturday Morning Slam, 1st of September 2012. This is episode 2 of Saturday Morning Slam, and we're past the first episode now, so we're really going to see what this show is really like. I thought to do this because usually when you launch a new show, episode 1 is usually stacked compared to the ones that come after it to make a good first impression, but looking back at this first show, that doesn't really seem to be the case. You might also notice there is only one match on the card, and this is because when Saturday Morning Slam first started, they ran on a one match per show model, with the match being branded as a Saturday Morning Slam exclusive match, which I actually think, is quite an interesting concept to try sell a show on one match per week. But I'm about to foreshadow here, the wrestling isn't really the main focus of this show. But regardless, I'm excited to see what exclusive match we get on this exclusive show. Anyway, we open the show on a top 5 countdown. Okay, WWE, I see you trying to jack my style. Thank God it's not a top 10 countdown. You'd have seen me in court if it was.
Oh.
I mean, to be fair, you definitely wouldn't have seen me in court. Maybe
No.
Watch Mojo, though. They might have had a problem
Watch
with it.
Mojo.
Anyway, the list they're doing is the top 5 catchphrases in WWE history, and the list consists of if you smell what The Rock is cooking, to be the man, you gotta beat the man.
Flair.
I'm the Miz,
The Miz.
and I'm awesome. You can't see me,
John Cena.
and finishing off with that's
Stone
the bottom
Cold.
line because Stone Cold said so. They really snuck in the Miz there, didn't they? They really tried to sneak him in. Then next up we get a history lesson about autographs, and then a feature from a bunch of WWE wrestlers showing off their autographs. Wait, that sounds wrong. Showing off their signatures. Wait, that sounds even more wrong. We just get Kofi Kingston, Dolph Ziggler, Layla, The Miz, and Derek Bateman, and they're just showing off their signatures and asking questions about signatures.
Who the heck is
Cool.
Derek Bateman?
We then get Alex Riley, who is giving us our WWE pop quiz, who is testing us on some signature WWE knowledge. His words, not mine. Like, is this signature stuff a rib? Like, surely, right? Question 1 is who beat Vince trying to buy WCW? When I say question 1, I mean the only question.
Oh, I
the
remember
options,
Alex
of course,
Riley.
are Stephanie
I missed
McMahon,
her.
Shane McMahon, Triple H, and Omos. And we're going to find out the answer to this signature WWE knowledge trivia later on tonight. Or, sorry, later on
Yeah, I
this
wonder what he's
morning.
doing now. I
And
don't
next
even know if
up
he's
is
still
our
wrestling.
Saturday Morning Slam
Oh, Brodus Clay
exclusive
and Kurt
matchup,
Hawkins.
as is Brodus Clay versus Kurt Hawkins.
I miss
They're
Brodus
NWA's
Clay.
finest versus Impact Wrestling's finest.
Kurt Hawkins
Funk is
too.
on a roll as Brodus is out first
Oh, yeah,
with
the
Funkadactyls, and
Funkasaurus.
somebody's on the phone with my mother, and I still can't believe this guy was NWA champion in the great year of 2023. Kurt Hawkins is out next, and we can begin our match. Josh Matthews and
that's great.
Santino
He's champion
Morella
now
are on
in,
commentary, which is an
MLW.
interesting commentary pairing, and not a bad commentary pairing, I must say. And this match actually went way longer than I thought it would go. Probably thanks in part to the fact that a good chunk of this match was spent just doing nothing. Like, they literally spend the first quarter of this match just dancing. But this match is entirely
What
a
the
comedy
heck?
match. It's a slow-paced, rest-hold comedy match. It's just Brodus Clay embarrassing and humiliating Kurt Hawkins pretty much. Kurt gets back into the match in the second half of it as he finally gets Brodus down, but it's extremely short-lived as Brodus very quickly gets back
What? I
into
just
it,
realized, why
begins
is Kurt
dominating
Angle in the
again,
background?
and finishes the match and wins it. This was very much a nothing
just
TV
watching
match.
it.
Like I said, it was just rest holds and extremely slow-paced action. After the match, though, Alex Riley comes back to tell us that Shane McMahon was the answer to the WWE trivia question, or sorry,
Yay.
the signature WWE trivia question, and damn
I
it,
hate
I
Shane.
really thought
I
it was
like Shane.
Omos. We then get the Saturday Morning Spotlight, as this week's Saturday Morning Spotlight is Rey Mysterio.
I
And
don't
if you're wondering
remember
what the
some of
Saturday
these.
Morning Spotlight is, it's just a minute-and-a-half long vignette with Rey Mysterio showing off how he does his moves, including the 619. And then, yeah, that's it. We get some final words from commentary, the credits roll, and that's the end of the episode. That is the entire episode of episode 2 of Saturday Morning Slam. So, what we saw was one match, 8 minutes of wrestling, if you can even call it that, a top 5 list, a trivia segment, and to be honest, it was kind of exactly what I expected. Saturday Morning Slam, like I said, was a kids show. It aired on the Saturday morning slot traditionally reserved for cartoons, but
Sorry if I pause it again. I get what that means because I thought I remember they did 2 matches. I didn't know they did 1. Because I think I remember there were some episodes they did 2. But at the same time, it was weird that it was only 30 minutes long. But I don't remember the Alex Riley quiz thing and the Rey Mysterio thing. 'Cause I think I remember there was 2 matches and that was it. And then some of the other ones I don't remember. But it was kind of weird that they would do some of those, but at the same time, it's like they could have made it longer. They could have made it at least an hour long. They didn't have to do it 30 minutes. I mean, I feel like an hour would have been great because they would have done 2 matches, and after that, they would have time to do like the Alex Riley quiz of the day, and then the superstar spotlight, this and that. They would have enough time to do all that, but yeah, they could have enough time to do 2 matches and stuff. But yeah. It could have been better if they made it an hour. I think that show got canceled right after the CW for Kids was rebranded to, I think the what is it, Maleficent Morning, and that all ended I think in 2014 or 15. But yeah, I think that canceled. That got canceled along with the other shows because the block got rebranded. So the block is no longer on TV no more, sadly. But I don't know where you can watch those on. I think they're on YouTube. I think they're available on YouTube. I don't think Peacock has those, or maybe I'll look. But I think YouTube might have some of the episodes. But I'll check those out. But I do remember that show when I was like 12 years old, and they were really really entertaining. Though I still miss it, but they're very entertaining. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Because it was a kids show, and what I watched was a kids show. The match was comparable to any main event or superstars match, so it was harmless fun, and the other stuff is just kind of there. But like I said, it's a kids show. I'm not the target audience here. Like I said earlier, when Saturday Morning Slam first started, they only had one match per show, but as the show went on, they would increase the amount of matches, and a lot of the time they'd have 2 matches on the show, probably the most that you could fit into a 22-minute slot, without every match not being complete garbage. The show was mainly reserved for your lower card guys and your comedy acts such as Brodus Clay, as we saw tonight, Santino Marella, the 3-man band, the Primetime Players, and many more, but you'd also see the occasional bigger name appearing. Daniel Bryan, AJ Lee, Rey Mysterio, John Cena faced Heath Slater on a random episode, and those are just a few of the names that I found appeared on Saturday Morning Slam. In fact, the final ever WWE Saturday Morning Slam saw Randy Orton and Sheamus teaming up to beat the Primetime Players, which to me sounds like a pretty good match for the time. But as you might have heard me say, this was the final ever match on Saturday Morning Slam. The show only lasted for 38 episodes, going on a 9-month run from August 2012 to May 2013. And to be honest, that's all it ever really needed. Like, this show was never gonna last forever. It was never gonna last that long period. By this point, the Saturday morning children's programming block was already kind of a lost concept, but regardless, this show existed for 9 months, and you probably don't remember it, but this show existed. You're probably asking though, did anyone actually watch it? Because I know wrestling fans are obsessed with ratings, and you'd be surprised to know that while the show did die off very quickly, obviously, some of the early episodes of Saturday Morning Slam crossed over 1 million viewers. Like, damn, that's more than AEW gets now.
So
did I do it right? Did I do the ratings joke right? WWE Saturday Morning Slam has never really been acknowledged again since it got cancelled, which is exactly why it feels like a whole parallel universe whenever I watch it. Like, did this show actually exist? Anyway guys, that's it from me. Thanks for watching guys. Like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what weird obscure wrestling shows that I should watch next.
You know, everyone's got imposter syndrome to a certain degree, and the only way to...
But yeah, like I said, I do remember it. It could have been an hour, like the quiz of the day with Alex Riley and this and that. But yeah, the only thing I remember from that was the John Cena versus Heath Slater match, the Primetime Players, and the what is it? Tons of Funk, which was Brodus Clay and Tenzai, who was Sweet Tea. They had a storyline between those two teams and this and that. And that's all I remember. But the last episode, I do remember that. It was Randy Orton and Sheamus versus the Primetime Players. That was a good match, but at the same time, it's like, I can't believe that was the last one they had ever like aired, and that was probably the last one they would probably show, because the show wasn't that bad. I mean, it was popular though, like everybody loved it, but I guess since the CW was already, I guess the CW for kids was already like dying, I guess they just ended up like canceling some shows. So I think that one was next. The only shows I watched on that was Sonic X, what's it called, Rubik, what's it called, Rubik's or something like that. It's that CGI anime show. Y'all probably might remember that in the comments, but there was that one, Sonic X, Dragon Ball Z Kai, I watched that one, Yu-Gi-Oh, and then this one was on there too, that just started, which was WWE Saturday Morning Slam. Honestly, they should bring it back though. They should bring it back either for Saturday mornings, but they can air it on like actual TV. I mean, they could air it on like any other channel. Like they can air it on NBC. I mean, they can air it on NBC now because since the USA Network is now owned by since WWE is now, I guess, is now in partnership with USA and the Peacock. They can either bring it back and put it on Peacock, or they could just put it back on TV but put it on NBC, or they can air it on like the USA Network on Saturday morning. Since there's really not that much WWE has done on TV. The only thing we have on TV is LFG, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, and that's it. But that would be kind of a good concept if they brought that back, but make it like at least 3 hours, not 3 hours, maybe like an hour and a half, or make it 2 hours like SmackDown is. Make it like 2 hours, and then just air it on Saturday mornings from like either 9 or like 10 o'clock, and then that's it. But for that one, I actually want them to bring back some old gimmicks, like bring back some old gimmicks from like all the old wrestlers, like Kofi Kingston, bring his old gimmick back and his theme song. Bailey, bring her old gimmick back and this and that. Because with that, it could have been non-canon though. And then they would have they could also create like a championship for Saturday Morning Slam for the men's and the women's, and they could also make like some other ones in there too. But honestly, let me know in the comments down below if you remember watching that show, and if y'all want that show back. If you want that show back, give me a thumbs up. If you don't want it back, give me a thumbs down. But yeah, honestly, I think they should bring it back though, because I miss it though, even though that was like almost like 12 years or 11 years. They should honestly bring that back. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below, you want it back, thumbs up. Don't want it back, thumbs down. But yeah, anyways, that's the end of the video. Look, I love y'all guys. Oh no, yeah, I love y'all guys. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.